Hey guys, this is Patty B within the hauler. I got another firearm I'd like to share with y'all. This is the Sig Sauer P320 AXG Pro, chambered in 9mm. The P320 AXG Pro is an aluminum frame, striker-fired modular pistol that typically feeds from 17-round mags. I say typically because I got the 10-round version, not because I live in a communist state, but because I got such a good deal on it that I could afford to order some regular size mags. These are 21 rounders for the P320 Legion. But yeah, I got a good deal, so that's why I ordered it with the commie mags. Just picked this up for my FFL, haven't shot it yet, so looking forward to taking this thing out and shooting it today. We'll hit the specs on this. Got a 4.7-inch barrel, and it weighed 35 ounces exactly on my scale with the empty magazine. We'll hit the features on this thing. The first thing you're going to notice that makes this different than all other P320s is your lower down here, instead of being polymer, is aluminum alloy. And these side panel grips, which are replaceable, they're G10, I believe made from Hogue. Feels pretty good in your hand. And not a ton of traction, but they feel pretty good, but they're replaceable if you want to get something with a little more traction to them. Also comes with this mag well installed. You've got a nice undercut here and a nice good beaver tail. Slide stop slide release are ambi. Magazine release is reversible. Trigger on this, it's the standard Sig X trigger, which it's flat face, little mush, and not overly heavy, just a little mushy. There's your reset. Of course, you do have a rail out here for lights or whatever you want to put out there. The slide on this is where it gets kind of cool, because this thing has some definite unique cuts on it for lighting purposes. Big holes everywhere, and then the front is definitely unique, the way that's kind of scalloped out around the barrel. Just makes it look kind of cool. Sights, standard Sig X-ray sights, which are pretty good. You know, the gun kind of to me seems like it's almost competition styled, but those sights are kind of, duty or concealed carry style. Not sure what they were going for, but I like those sights pretty good. As you can see by the optics cover, that this thing is optics ready. It takes all the Sig sights and then the Lupo Delta Point, plus also RMR, SRO, Holosun compatible. These sights are going to be definitely too low to co-witness. So if you're going to put a red dot on and you want to co-witness, you're going to have to get taller sights. The takedown on this, just like every other P320, lock the slide to the rear, rotate your disassembly lever, and release the slide. And there you go. As you can tell, it's got a little bit of oil from the factory. Looks pretty good. Put it together, it's just a reverse, lock it to the rear, and flip your disassembly lever. So yeah, I've shot a few different variants of the P320. I've shot the the M17, like the military version. I've shot the X VTAC version, and I like those pretty good. I wouldn't say I fell in love with them, but they seemed like they were nice, good guns. But then, recently I shot the Legion, and man, that thing was pretty awesome. So I don't know if I expect this to be as good as the Legion, but as cheap as I got it, I'm gonna give it a shot. So I'm gonna put a couple hundred rounds through this today, maybe more, not sure, and ring a bunch of steel and see what I think about it, and we'll come back in and give you my thoughts. All right, we're back here about 10 yards. We got some Fiocchi 115 grain full metal jackets. Take our first shots, see what this thing's hitting for us. All right, looks like sights are pretty darn close enough anyways. Initial impressions, this grip feels really good in your hand. And a lot of times regular P320s feel a little flippy to me. This one feels like it's not quite as flippy, but yeah, 2 mags in, I'm liking it. step back a little bit. We're 15 yards, give or take. See how this thing can do. All right, let's try that 25-yard plate out there. All right, this thing's off to a pretty darn good start. Don't know what to say other than I swear it feels a little less flippy than your average P320. This grip module feels good. I know the weight probably helps a little bit with the recoil. I'm only like 6 mags in, but yeah, I'm enjoying shooting this pistol. Let's try that 40-yard plate. All right, not too bad. She's shooting pretty good, and I'm enjoying shooting it. All right, back inside from shooting the Sig P320 AXG Pro. Make sure she's clear. And yeah, this thing was a joy to shoot today. I only put 250 rounds through it, which, that's not near enough for a long-term test, but, that's enough to give you an initial impression. And my initial impression is this thing's pretty freaking awesome. I really enjoyed shooting it. I shot it a lot better than I thought I would. I was never the largest P320 fan. Shooting the M17 and the XV-Tech that I shot, they were fine guns. Wasn't that impressed. But then, my buddy bought a X5 Legion, and that thing was awesome. And I fell in love with it. Kind of wanted to buy one of those, but then I saw this, with the sale that was on, because these things MSRP for over $1,000, and I got it for basically half of that because of the 10-round California magazines. And yeah, this thing is pretty darn impressive. Not quite as good as the Legion. Of course, it weighs like 10 ounces more, designed purely for competition, whereas this one I think is designed to flex between, possible duty use and competition. But this thing is pretty darn good. You can shoot it pretty darn fast, pretty darn accurate, and I'm pretty darn impressed. Yeah, so definitely this is the version of the P320 that kind of turned me on to, I guess, the 320 line, just because this thing shoots so good. And I can't wait to put a whole bunch more around through it, take it through a lot of drills, stuff like that, because this thing's pretty awesome. The only thing I could think I could possibly change was if you wanted a little more grip, you could get some replacement panels. I'm sure Lock Grips or somebody makes a little more grippy side panels. And then, possibly a fiber sight instead of the X-ray sights. I mean, these are pretty good, but, they're just never going to be as bright as, a fiber optic blade. But other than that, this thing's pretty awesome. And I'm looking forward to putting a whole bunch more rounds through this thing and seeing how it goes from there. Well, there you go, guys. Sig Sauer P320 AXG Pro. Y'all have a nice day.